Let's start with a, let's say, brief job description of your job as a performance manager.
Are we still running?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm the performance manager of Team Dimension Data, and so what does it really mean? I think we can basically divide it into two sections. That is the technical section, so to coordinate with our technical suppliers, to look for new adventures there in terms of development of equipment and in terms of the right use of equipment. And then I also have the sporting part, and this is like mainly in cooperation with the sport directors and with the coaches to say, okay, what makes sense in terms of season planning. So we defined our team goals for the whole year. So how do we get there? And that needs a lot of coordination in terms of like which rider needs to have a build-up race in which period, and what goal do we have in those races? Does that fit with the needs of the team and the overall performance of the team? Well, the first time I really got in contact with the main part of the team was at Cape Town camp. I wouldn't really necessarily call it training camp because training was pretty limited. It was all also about like really getting the partners involved. We had a lot of social things to do there, but it was super relaxed atmosphere, and you start learning about the people. We had the Table Mountain hike one day in that Cape Town meeting, and first of all, you think it's an easy walk. It's like, what's so special about it? There's probably a footpath up there, and then we realized it's a little bit more than that.
We kind of walk up, we scramble up through this rock band, go diagonally right.
It was interesting to see that, like some super motivated guys started up running, like trying to beat the record because like our tour guide explained us what's the best time. It seemed to be like a normal bike race, exactly that sprinters like getting dropped and climbers going up front there. In between like the steep parts, people were talking to each other, people were sweating up there, and ultimately on these difficult pieces you see people helping each other, and that's like that's the first step that you need to say you have to help each other. It's kind of a team building thing. You see already like structures in the team getting together, and that's why I think it was very, very interesting. And of course we hit like a perfect day for doing so. There was no wind, it was blue skies, and I think everybody really, really enjoyed it. A big part of that Cape Town camp was obviously like goal setting, and goal setting goes both ways: goal setting of the team, and that was followed then by goal setting of the individual riders. And in that, like, then we split the team into groups. So we always have like a manager, which is a sport director, and a coach. And then we want to learn from the riders how they really see their season and what they really want to achieve. It's a give and take, and it's like listening. It's like the first thing is like you need to listen. It's really important to point out that this is a group decision. That this is, we don't leave the rider alone with like, so tell me what you do. It's more like, so let's see how we can support. Let's see how we really put that together and make it happen. That's also the way to do it, because otherwise, if you set out goals, it's like they have to be achievable. And if the rider believes it's achievable because it's his own goal, then it's worth to support it. The bike handover for Qhubeka was obviously a special day, and it was something I was really looking forward to. Maybe also even more than others, because I'm pretty well aware of the problems of the country, of the problems of the structures of the country, being residents of South Africa. But I was never really like in direct contact with those problems. So you read about it, you try to understand, and you try to learn about it. But it's different seeing kids really smiling. I mean, you had like really open kids over there, and they were riding together, and they were doing photos together. And I think it's very, very important that to carry that for the whole year, to understand what we're really doing. And like Qhubeka is on the bikes there, and it's on our jersey. And if you look at the back of the guy in front of you, you will be reminded, what do we do here? And that sets this team apart from so many other teams to say, well, the only thing we do here is winning bike races. Our guys have to understand, and I think they do pretty well after that kind of like direct contact with this, handing over these bikes that really changed life, that we do a lot more. That sometimes it might be okay to be fourth or fifth, but bring the right message across. So in January we had this training camp in Mallorca where we tried to bring like as many riders as possible, and as many riders where it made sense to not traveling them all over the world. And essentially about that kind of training camp is spending that time together.